Hi there, welcome to the Enterprising Conversations channel, your small business watchtower. I'm your channel host, Rendani. Today we are going to give you a taste, an introduction to our business skills training. We are going to do this by looking at the difference between the gross profit and the markup. We shall also look at the gross profit percentage and the markup percentage. And finally, we are going to look at the value of knowing the markup percentage and the gross profit percentage for your business. Thank you very much. Relax, get your notebook, your calculator, buckle up and enjoy the ride. Thank you. I am going to use an example of a mobile hot dog cafe. Hot dog cafe, I'm going to call it. Suppose you are running the business and you are selling each hot dog for 10 rands. Before you can sell the hot dog, you have to make it, isn't it? Now, this one dog, this very one hot dog, it costs you, I'm going to say variable costs per unit is 5 rands. Variable costs, here I'm talking about your bread roll, your hot dog, your sauce, your direct electricity that is involved, or the gas for making the hot dog, and the labor, and the transport for going to buy your ingredients. We shall talk about cost estimation. I just love that. You are going to enjoy it. Now, let me ask. It costs you 5 rands to make each hot dog, and then you are selling the one hot dog for 10 rands. What is your gross profit? Yes?
5 rand.
Your gross profit is 5 rands. How did you get it? You simply, our formula for calculating the gross profit is selling price minus variable cost per unit. Selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. So this is your gross profit per unit is 5 rands. Wonderful. Now let's look at something else. Gross profit percentage. What is gross profit percentage? Don't worry yourself. Very simple. We are looking at the relationship between your gross profit and your selling price. It is the gross profit expressed as a percentage of your selling price. Don't be confused there. Suppose you are entrepreneurs in one classroom, and we say what is the percentage of women entrepreneurs relative compared to the total number of entrepreneurs in the classroom. In South Africa, we say women are 52% of the population. So this is just it's along the same lines. Gross profit percentage, the formula for calculating this, you take your gross profit, you divide by per unit, don't forget, divide by this gross profit, divide by the selling price, multiply by 100. How much is it? If you use your calculator, actually let me replace, this is 5, because the gross profit is 5 rands, divide by 5 rands, divide by 10 rands by 100. It gives you 50%. Now, what does this mean? Remember, gross profit, lest I forget, it costs you 5 rands to make the hot dog, and then you sell it for 10 rands. You sell it for 10 rands and your gross profit is 5 rands. This helps you to understand that the seed money, if you are a farmer, you know, you go and plow, but at the same time, when you go to plow and you harvest, you must not eat all the harvest and the seed. You must leave the seed so that you can go back to the field to plow. The same principle applies. There is money for stock that you use to buy the ingredients, the hot bread roll, your sausage and your sauce, blah, blah, blah. You are not going to eat it, to use it up. Your profit is 5 rands. You don't have to use up the seed. Many business people use up the seed. One, they cannot tell apart. When money comes in, it is not written that this money is gross profit and this one is for your stock. The customer will hardly say such thing. They just give you the money and they enjoy the product and the service. So when you look at 50% gross profit, what is it telling you? It is telling you that for every rand that comes into the business, 50 cents is for the cost of your making your stock and 50 cents is your gross profit. And remember, gross profit is gross profit, it's not net profit. When I say gross profit, it's profit before you subtract your running costs, your expenses in other words. Some say running costs, some say expenses. This is your rent, this is your water and electricity, and this is your marketing and promotion. You name them. Your salaries for maybe you've got an administrator or your record keeper, bookkeeper. That is what I'm talking about. Now let's proceed. Thank you very much. Let's proceed. Let's go ahead. We said the gross profit percentage equals to 50%. Now, again, in addition to helping you not to use the seed money, the money like the seed, the farmer, the money that you must use to go back to the fields, the money that you must use to go back and buy your ingredients in order to make the hot dog. It helps you do that, but in addition, the gross profit percentage also helps you to, let me give you a test, a little test. Suppose you are selling 100 dogs a day. And I come there to you, you are selling only 100 dogs, around about 100 dogs on average per day. I come to you and say, sir or madam, I am running a workshop and now I would like to buy 500 units of your hot dogs. So tell me 500 of your hot dogs. And I say to you, I want you to give me a 50% discount. What are you going to say? Is this a good deal? Is this a bad deal? Tell me.
It is a bad deal.
It is a bad deal? Yes. Nice answer, but why?
Because I'm giving away all my profit.
Yes, definitely you are giving away all your profit. Let's prove it. Let me prove it for you. If you sell 500 hot dogs, 500 multiplied by 10, you're selling it for 10 rands, don't forget, you'll get 5,000 rands. And then what will be your variable costs? If for when you are selling 500 units, variable cost will be it costs you 5 rands to make one hot dog. So it will be 5 multiplied by 500 units. 500 hot dogs, it will come to 2,500. Can you see that? And then what is your gross profit? Your gross profit is 2,500. Now, if you give me a 50% discount, you give away all your gross profit. What are you going to pay your rent, your electricity, your marketing and promotion with? Then you cannot afford to give away this. In other words, what I want to say is that 50% gross profit, once you determine that gross profit percentage, you now know how to negotiate your discounts. Because you can either lose out on business or lose out, make a wrong deal because of not knowing your gross profit percentage. Again, this tool, gross profit percentage, it can help you determine if you are losing losing stock, if there is they call it pilferage, if you are losing stock through theft, shoplifting, theft of employees, shoplifting, maybe poor merchandising, all those kind of things. It will help you. But now this is just an introduction. I don't want to overwhelm you. Let's go. Let's soldier on and deal with markup. Markup, yes. Right. Markup is our next topic. Getting very interesting. Now, let's take a step back. Variable cost per unit. It costs you 5 rands to make one hot dog that you sell for 10 rands. Now, if the selling price is 10 rands, how did you arrive at the selling price of 10 rands? You simply added another 5 rands on top of your variable cost. So your selling price is 10 rands, and what you did was to add 5 rands on top of this to arrive at the selling price of 10 rands. So in other words, your markup, how will you determine your formula for calculating the markup? It is selling price minus variable costs. It will give you your markup of 5 rands. If you're getting confused, you can be forgiven. Why? Because markup and gross profit in monetary terms, in nominal terms, it is the same. The formula for calculating it, the amount that you'll get for gross profit per unit and markup per unit, it is going to be the same. But that is where the similarity ends. And here I'm talking about the markup percentage. What is the markup percentage? The markup percentage, we are looking at the relationship between your variable cost and your gross profit that we calculated. And remember, markup and gross profit are the same. So we are looking at the relationship between your gross profit and your gross profit. So the formula for calculating that is gross profit divided by variable cost per unit. I always forget to write per unit. So that's how it works. Let's calculate. Let's crunch the numbers. So it will come to 5 rands divided by 5 rands multiplied by 100. What does it give you? Cancel out, and then you are left with 100%. And it makes sense. Because why? For you to arrive at selling price of 10, you increased the cost of your product by another 5 rands. It's 100% increase on your cost to arrive at your selling price. It means that you said, I want to make a profit of 5 rands, gross profit of 5 rands on top of this, on top of the cost. And you look, for you to remember the formula, you must say, remember, your gross profit percentage is looking at the relationship between your gross profit per unit and your selling price per unit. But the markup, it looks at the relationship between your gross profit per unit and your variable cost per unit. Why? Because you mark up on top of the cost. For you to get to determine your selling price, you had to increase the value of your variable cost per unit by another 5 rands, which is 100%. And this is what we get. Now, that's it. And how does this help us? It helps us because, remember, businesses don't work in the same sectors. In hospitality, like your catering, they can mark up, your hotel can mark up their food by 100%, 200%, 300%, depending on who they are selling to and where the hotel is and what the customers are prepared to pay. But when it comes to like your retail businesses, look at bread. The profit that you make per bread, if you are a retailer, is very little. It's a very small part of your selling price because the business thereof, that industry, it's a high volume, low profit industry. It means for you to benefit, to make money, you must sell many loaves of bread to make your money. You sweat, you work hard for your money. It is in contrast to that. Conversely, when you look at say hospitality already per meal, you are gaining 100% of your cost. So that is the difference between the gross profit and the markup. I don't want to overwhelm you a lot. That is just the introduction to our training so that you get a sense, a taste of what we are all about. This is the Enterprising Conversations channel. I'm your channel host, Rendani. Thank you very much and look out for the next video.